You realize if this comes out after the end of this year, into the year 2016, the credibility is going to be pinched because people are going to say that it's political. You wait to Secretary Clinton was running for president.
It could be. Of course, that assumes that the report would be critical of her, and I don't make that assumption because we're still in the process of gathering facts. If the report is not critical of her, then she would probably want it to come out closer to the election, but it's not going to come out in the middle of 2016. I hope it doesn't come out in 2016, period. I hope we're done before the end of this year. And I say hope because there are certain variables that I cannot control.
All right, what's the problem? Why isn't this moving faster?
Documents. It's simple. It is whether or not the Department of State, the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense will honor our request for documents. Some of those requests are as old as 2 years old.
All right, it seems to me, if you've made these document requests and they have not been complied with by a certain date, a drop-dead date, I would probably make sometime in November of this year, I would say that it's pretty fair to, in the courtroom, as you and I are both from, to draw an adverse inference, meaning that it would be unfavorable to the administration.
To the administration, absolutely. If DOD were not producing documents to us, you could draw that inference. I am reluctant to draw a negative inference about the Department of Defense or our military. You're right, in a courtroom that happens. I'm not sure in the court of public opinion that people are going to draw a negative inference. I think that they would just conclude, well, Gowdy, you finished too quick. You should have waited until the documents came in.
Has Secretary Clinton cooperative?
Cooperative from the standpoint that she's never once evidenced a lack of willingness to come in and talk to us.
Well, it's a lack of willingness. Sure, I'll come in and talk to you like in 10 years. I mean, if you said to her, I want you here on July 5th, and she said she will.
She would have come in November of 2014. But think back to November of 2014. That's when David Kendall and Elijah Cummings wanted me to bring her. That was before we had her emails. So I would, if I had done.
Still don't, though.
Well, we have 300 now. We had 8 in November of 2014. So if I had done what they asked me to do and expedited this, I would have had a conversation with her in the dark. I would not have had her email.
Could you not? I mean, could you not just bring her back? You say, look, now we found you gave me 8 emails. Now I have 292 more. You didn't give them to me before, so now come back and talk to me about this.
Absolutely. And then someone would say you are bringing her back and forth before it's harassment. You're vindictive. You should have just called her once. I mean, we're trying to do this the right way, which is gather the evidence and have a single conversation with her about Benghazi. But Greta, there are 2 people who could expedite this process much quicker than me or you or Elijah Cummings.
And they are?
President Obama and John Kerry. President Obama controls the administration and John Kerry controls the State Department. If they send a message to the folks that are reviewing our document request, give these folks what they need to complete their report, or give them a legal reason why you're not going to, but quit playing this game about asking for priorities and what do you need first and are you sure you really need it? Give them what they asked for. This would be done much sooner than 2016.
Have you asked Secretary Kerry or President Obama? I mean, let's stop playing the games. If these are documents I want, we have the right to ask for this document, either, give them to us. Or...
Well, I have not had that conversation with President Obama. We have been very clear with the Department of State. The sooner you comply with our request, the sooner this will wrap up. But look what happened with the emails, Greta. They didn't bother to tell us they didn't have her record. So when I say I've lost confidence in the State Department's objectivity, that's exactly why.
All right. Well, I hope it gets done sooner than later, and I realize that you're not getting all the documents, but if it doesn't get done by the end of the year, I think it's fair. Do you lay out who dragged his feet, who wouldn't give you documents, and what was in the way? And I think the American people can, draw a fair inference from that.
I want it done before 2016, and to that end, we're doing 4 witness interviews a week, whereas we were doing 2. That's ambitious for a staff our size. 4. We're trying to accelerate it, but I've got to have the documents.